Hey guys, Brent Swanson here, back at the NPC Illinois with Tanja Reyes. She won the Masters figure 35 to 39. Okay, now we got that out of the way. I can tell you a lot about this competitor because, man, she blew me away at prejudging. She has such a pretty, bubbly muscles. Her personality, you know, so many competitors get on stage and they're just like are a sourpuss. They just look down at the floor. They don't have much personality, but boy, when you came out there, your personality just exploded. So first of all, let me ask you, where does this personality come from?
It's just me. I feel like I need you to see me. I need you to know who I am because you're going to remember me. If you don't remember anything, you're going to remember Tanja.
Now, you looked very, very good. We already talked before. I think you're going to do well at a national show, just making just a few small minor tweaks. Let me ask you, what's next for you and what are you going to bring to stage that it might be a little bit better than what you displayed today?
Well, my coach, IFBB Kaya Boone, she always told me, okay, we're going to start here and then we're going to make it better. We're going to improve on what you did now. So right now she says, get ready. I'm going to let you go ahead and go do Junior USAs, which is in what, 3 weeks? Yeah. So do believe it's going to be a tighter, more rounder, more symmetry type situation happening over here. It's going to be a different operation. So when she's excited, I'm excited because she believes in me and I believe in what she tells me. So hey, she wouldn't mislead me.
Awesome. Well, sounds like you have a really great coach. That's Trey Bennett and Joe Pishkala's territory down there, who are two great guys. They put on a good show. So, Joe, take care of this one for me, okay? Anyways, this is Brent Swanson from Maximum Muscle Report. Watch out for this girl here at Junior USA's here in a few weeks. We're out.
The misconception is that being a gentleman is just about being polite or courteous to women. In actuality, to be a true gentleman means that you have respect for your fellow man, so it encompasses men and women. Style is something that you evolve into. It's about your personality. It's about how you live your life.
Welcome to the next episode of the Gentleman of Style Show. I'm Baldwin.
And I'm Creech. And man, today we've got a guest for you guys. It's something different. We haven't done this before, so I'm excited.
Yes, I am.
It's going to be an amazing conversation.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be an amazing conversation. Even just the general conversation off screen was quite interesting. Welcome to the Gentleman of Style Show, Tanja Reyes. Come on in.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
All right. Tanja Reyes. Man, that last name, you know, it has like a ethnic, not black. You know,
It actually is.
Go ahead. Your family has some different roots going on.
Oh gosh, yes. I am actually from Griffin, Georgia.
Okay.
So this is home for me, Georgia Peach all the way.
Okay.
But my ex-husband is actually from Trinidad.
Oh.
So yeah, so of course, with my son and my daughter, of course I'm gonna keep the name, just to keep it in the family.
Right.
So no bad blood. We're all good. Everybody's happy. So he supports me,
That's good.
and we have a great family union.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I can just kind of detect that vibe coming from you that everything is all good. You know how sometimes you can detect when someone has like a negative type of energy to them?
Oh, yes.
I don't get that from you.
Really?
Yeah, you have a radiant type of energy coming from you. Even when I met you beforehand, before the show started, and we were talking, even coming in, I mean, you have like this upbeat attitude. It's just like, coursing from you and everything. And it's a good thing. You detect certain types of energy.
I feel like life is too short. Why be sad? Why concentrate on what is or what was? Why not make it better,
Absolutely.
And you never know who you might, change that day just by speaking or just asking them how they are.
Right.
So you might rub off on them and make their day better. You know how they say pass it forward
Yeah,
or pass it back.
right.
So that's what I try to do.
A smile is contagious.
Oh,
Yeah.
And you have been doing that since you walked in the door. So that is very appreciated.
Thank you,
Very
thank you.
appreciated. So from Griffin, Georgia,
yes.
let's fast forward a little bit. You were in the military.
I was. I become a journalist aide once I got deployed. I served in Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom. So I was there from 2001 to 2003, so right before the new year, that's when I left. I have 2 kids, which I left my daughter when she was younger, and went and served my country. When I got there, they told you 2 things, when you get your safety briefing. They say you're going to get fit or you're going to get fat. So I was like, well, I better go to the gym then. Because, you have 24-hour food and you have 24-hour gym.
Right.
And then you're either working in between. So I think I chose the better of the 2.
Well, you shared an interesting story about your basic training with us earlier. Can you kind of give us a little bit of that again?
Sure,
Share
sure.
it with the audience.
Yes, I was, how you're trying to figure out what you're going to do in life.
Yeah.
And of course, young, still you have your boyfriend and you do your things or
Right.
whatever, trying to be grown.
Birds in the bees.
Exactly. So once I joined the military, I was like, okay, I'm going to start my career, start something, be productive, be a productive citizen.
Right.
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 So I joined, my basic training was actually at Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Oh, wow.
This is when they had just started integrating women at Fort Sill, because it used to be all men. So they sent me to Fort Sill for my basic training, and my advanced training was in Fort Jackson. So I did my, went to Fort Sill. My PT was top notch. I was the guide on bear for most of the basic training, so which I led my battalion. So we getting ready, we do all the tests. I actually had to do the gas chamber twice.
Really? Why?
Yes,
Why'd you have to do it
because
twice?
I was one of the smaller females. I was female, so of course they're gonna treat you like the men. But when you get that, you think you're gun ho and yeah, they're gonna pick on you a little bit more. So I actually ended up having to do the gas chamber twice. I went to advanced training in Fort Jackson and getting ready for my first duty assignment once I graduated, and they're giving you all the shots because I was getting ready to go to Korea, and they're giving you all the shots, and I'm like, okay, I'm out in the field, so I'm thinking everything is good, and until I started teaching, I was like, this can't be normal, I didn't do this before. So of course I told my drill instructor, he was like, oh, you just playing, you just don't want to be out here in the field, of course, who wants to be out in the field?
Right.
So they sent me to the doctor, and I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling well, I'm jumping. And he's like, well, let's run some tests. And he was like, could you be pregnant? I was like, pregnant? I've been in basic training. When would I have time to, see anybody, I guess you could say. So they did the test, and he was like, oh, yes, ma'am, you're pregnant. And he's like, you're 21 weeks.
Wow.
21 weeks what?
Wow.
So again, no, I've never had a child, didn't know anything about it. So he let me hear the heartbeat, and I'm like, I look around, I said, is that yours? He's like, no, ma'am, it's your baby. I said, what baby? So I think I laid there about a good 45 minutes. I'm like, so you're telling me that I'm telling you that I'm pregnant? He was like, oh, yes, ma'am.
Wow.
So I'm just like, are you
Wow.
kidding me?
You were almost done.
I was almost done. I'm thinking I'm about to, go to Korea and just, do me. Oh no, Trinity, my daughter, who is here now, she's 19. She had other plans for me.
Right.
So I was like, well, I guess that was meant to be. So I just feel like she's going to do some great things. She's here for a reason.
Right.
So after all of that.
That's awesome, though. That's awesome.
Well, we have to make mention of your daughter, Trinity. She's going to the Air Force. So, very, very, very proud of the young lady for taking on, undertaking that. It's a big thing, especially in the world we live in now. So for her to, take on that, it's a big thing.
Thank you.
Very proud of her. Don't know her, but very proud of her.
I'll make sure I tell her.
We both respect that and everything. That's just such an awesome undertaking.
Thank you.
When I always think about this. I wish I would have went to the Air Force. I was always told if you were going to join a branch of the military, go to the Air Force.
Yes.
Or the Marine Corps, just saying.
Yes, he's saying it because he was in the Marine Corps.
I figured that. Jarheads have to stick together, right?
That's who we are. Who we are. So you're in the military, you find out you're pregnant, you go through that whole span of time. And one of the things you said was, you're either going to get fat or fit.
Yes.
So, of course, the attention, how you came to our attention was the fit part of your life.
Yes.
So let's get into some of that.
Well, I was deployed. I left. My daughter had to be about 15 months. And we go, like I said, they say, oh, you're going to get fat. I was like, oh, I'm not, I have too many clothes for that. So I started off in those aerobics classes, just, of course, a lot of women don't know, where to start or how to proceed to do anything in the gym unless you have that type of guidance, and I really didn't. So I started off like, this is not for me. I'm not happy. I feel like I'm just wasting my time. And a battle buddy of my, a fellow soldier, he was like, why don't you come lift weights? And just like any other female, oh no, lifting weights. I don't want to look like a man, And he was like, really? He's like, look at you, you have to start somewhere. So I started, and of course it's rough, but he guided me with understanding this is what'll help you here if this is what you want to do, and this is help build this, like far as squats to help build your glutes, and lateral raises to help build your shoulders, or, just the little things. So I was like, okay. So I started liking the changes, and I'm just like anybody now, I'm buying gym clothes and buying the CD holder, trying to be. Yes, you have to have the accessories for it,
Getting the groove.
Yes. So when I got back, I was like, okay, I got to keep this up. I'm liking the changes within my body, what was happening. And I go and, you make the gym buddies, and you go join a gym. You have the people that actually understand lifting and understand what you're doing, and of course giving you tips along the way.
Right.
And I never forget it. They always ask me, oh, Tanja, when are you going to do a show? And when you going to, oh, one day. You know how we just put it off. And I guess he got tired of me saying one day. He was like, you're not getting any younger. And I was like, well, it's that, say, right. I was like, well, I guess you're right, So 6 months after he said that, to the day, 6 months I was on stage. I had found a coach. I had found posing. I had did all the work because I can't just talk about it. Time to put the action. You say you want to do it. Why not do it now? So.
Well, just to put everything into context a little bit, and it's just me looking back on you a little bit. There was a span of time that took you from one point to get you to where you're at.
Oh, yeah.
Now it wasn't instantaneous.
No, it was 6 months.
Okay.
I never ran track. I've never been in gymnastics. So I've had every muscle that I have, I actually had to work for it.
Right.
And I was just actually today, you know how you're in the gym, you see other people. And I had to explain, she was like, oh, I want to do my first show. I said, what's stopping you? She was like, well, I have to build up. I said, we all start somewhere.
Right.
We all have to start somewhere. People forget that you weren't always there. So you had to actually get in there and grind. And I told it, it depends on how bad you want it.
Right.
You want it bad enough, it will happen. And especially if you have that support system, not only within your partner, but your friends. So those that understand what you're trying to achieve and encourage you, that also will help you reach your goals.
Now you say 6 months. That was 6 months from when someone mentioned to you about going professional, competing, till you actually competing.
Stepping on stage for my first show.
Now I'm referring to the time before that took
Okay.
you. What was that time that looked like it took you from, hey, I'm going to start working out and everything to get you up to the point to where you're in the
That
gym
was,
and then people starting to recognize.
That
you.
was about a year and a
Okay.
half. That was about a year and a half, Tom, because I was deployed.
Mhm.
Then I came back and I was like, oh, I'll get in the gym eventually.
Right.
And then when I finally did join the gym,
Right.
that's when a lot more changes
Mhm.
started to happen. For me.
Right. Okay.
So getting ready to do the shows, because that sounds like a big undertaking within itself.
Oh my gosh.
What was your process? Because I heard you say something about getting a coach. What is that like? Do you go out and find a coach? Are there coaches that are looking for people? How do you make that transition and start to get ready for the stage?
Well, of course, it's a lot of word of mouth, and it's a lot of who do you know and who knows whom.
Right.
So, and I used to live in Chicago. I lived in Chicago for 12 years, and I tell you, Chicago make you want to change your religion. It's so cold.
Oh, it's so cold.
It's so cold.
I thought somebody
No, it's so cold. You're like, ooh, I need to go pray about this.
I really don't like cold. Man.
So,
How long were you in Chicago?
I was 12 years. 12, yes.
Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love Chicago for the advancements that I was able to do and the traveling. Because I used to be a government employee.
Mhm.
So I used to travel all over, Alaska,
GS,
Hawaii.
what?
GS 11.
You were GS.
Yeah, I know. That's what I say. I started out as a 9, a 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up as a 9 at GS 11 government service. Yeah.
Smooth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You have to stay. Hey, can get stagnant. So after learning, seeing posts, following in groups about bodybuilding, my first coach was IFBB Kaya Boone. And she actually, when I went to her posing class, because you have to know how to pose before you get on stage.
Right.
Because if you don't know how to pose, you might as well just be standing there. And your posing actually will make you or break you.
Really?
So, yes. Because if you can't flare your lats or you can't walk in heels, you might as well not even show up for the show.
On cue, right?
On cue, yeah. And then as an amateur, you have about 9-10 seconds to display
What you got?
months of work, 6 to 8 months of work.
So you have to go through the process. This one, bam. This one.
Pretty much, you have
this
three.
one. And you have how long? You 9
9 to 10 seconds, yes. And they'll be like, thank you, because you have so many people in that show. So you have to do an amateur show, then you have to do a national show. And then, of course, if you win your national show, you become an IFBB pro. So, yes. And that's when it's regardless of height, regardless of color, regardless of your build, you all in one line.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, in amateur, you're in categories based on height. When you're pro, lottie-dottie, everybody.
I thought there were certain categories, they broke it down.
It is categories. It
Okay.
is. But again, within ththose categories, in an amateur level, you have class A, which I'm tall enough to be an 8th grade little girl. So I'm gonna be in class A because it goes from 4'8" to 5'2" in class A, and then on up. So you have classes.
So it's all based off of height, not
in
weight
the
or
amateur.
anything.
No,
like that.
for women.
Oh, okay.
For women. Men, of course, depicting on what category you're in.
Mhm.
That will show what height class and what weight class you're in.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So it's height with women and men are based off of weight.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And height, of course, as well, too.
Height and weight.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
That's
Going
interesting.
into the coaching part of that,
Yes.
so you approach your coach, or does your coach approach you?
Well, I asked her where she taking on new clients, and she was like, I watched you, I see where you're trying to go. She was like, I would love to take you on. So it's one of those to where you have to actually have that consultation, that talk with them to see if they want to take on that challenge, because now not only are you trusting this person to build your body, but to make sure that you're stage ready.
Right.
So.
Right.
And you have to trust this person to guide you through the whole process. And if you don't trust your coach,
Was it an immediate trust between you and your coach?
it was immediate coach,
Okay.
because not only was she tough on me when just off her posing,
Mhm.
boy, when we actually signed the contract and was like, you're part of this team,
Mhm.
that's when I knew how to find, because not only she gives you that tough love, she gave me that tough love, that, okay, this is what you need here, and then she backed off when I did what I, but also, just like a mom,
Right.
when you wasn't doing what you were supposed to do, I'm going to show you now. So, and I thank her for that,
You said something about a team. So do you guys train as a team, or is it just you and her when it comes to?
Well, in Chicago, we did train. She'll have a group of us that was on that team, which was Epic Figures at the time, and she will have a group of us, and we'll train together. But mostly, you are basically accountable for yourself. So, and now I'm part of Team Underrated Muscle, and my coach is still in Chicago, and I'm accountable for myself.
Your team is called Underrated Muscle?
Underrated Muscle.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that is the name.
That throws them off when y'all come in the building?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. But they always know. And they always know because we have the orange and black tracksuits. They always know when we show up. And they was like, oh, I didn't know you was part. Oh, yeah. You never tell your right hand what your left hand doing.
That's right. Let's see you coming.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm very big on, stay in my lane, grind in silence.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
Your first show,
Yes.
going through everything, you worked heavy hard, got everything together. So
Yes.
now you got your heels on, you got your
Ooh.
outfit on, you're about to step on that stage. What was it like?
Oh my gosh, have you ever just, you know how you get on a ride and the anticipation, you start shaking,
Yeah.
and you feel that adrenaline rushing.
Right,
As soon as they hear your name, you stepping out, and they'll call your name, and they'll announce where you're from, and then you got to get out there. You got to hit those poses, and you got to hit them hard. But my main thing is, I might not be the best. I might not be somebody that what you're looking for as far as you judging. But I will say this: when I step on stage, you will remember me.
All right.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because between my walk, my smile, and the way I'm presenting myself, you're gonna know who I am. They're gonna remember me. So from my amateurs to my national show, oh yeah, they knew I was coming. And when you're a threat, when you give somebody, that push, oh yeah, not only do you find that the judges follow you or the judges know who you are, other competitors now are paying attention.
Let's talk about your regular life a little bit.
Okay.
Living, because a lot of people, they aspire to be where you're at right now. Then there's some people, they may look at it awkwardly, out there on a day-to-day basis. Let's say for example, if you're in the grocery store and you're shopping, do you get looks that's like?
Oh gosh, I do. Especially say when I first start, of course, I go to the produce and I get all my things like my vegetables and everything like that.
What do you buy? I'm just curious. When you're in your when you go in the grocery store, what are you buying?
I'm usually buying either zucchini, cucumbers, asparagus. Those healthy, those diuretic type vegetables, because of course it doesn't bloat you. It helps move along, your food. So that is one thing. Of course, my grits, because I hate oatmeal. Oatmeal.
Not like oatmeal at all.
I do not.
We share that.
Yes.
We
See, I can't. I hate oatmeal. So you have.
that anyway.
See, you have variations.
Maybe so.
So you have variations of what you can have, because some people like the cream of rice. That's another option within the grit. But I love grits. So.
Me too.
And see.
You don't put sugar in that.
Oh gosh, no. Well, I can't anyway.
Oh, that's right. You can't. But if you had,
No.
because it's upstate versus southern,
No.
we like salt and pepper.
Exactly.
Okay.
No, I'm from Griffin, Georgia. Oh
Okay.
no.
Gotcha.
My aunt wouldn't have that.
There you go. Don't want to upset her.
I'm just gonna be a little bit nosy. When is the last time you had sugar?
Oh gosh, last night.
Okay.
What was
Sorry.
You put on the spot like that.
I know.
Coach, watching.
Sorry, Dave. It was a little.
What was it?
Oh gosh, what did I have? I think I had a donut.
Donuts. You see how you put it? Donuts.
Donuts. Yeah.
That's funny.
And some chips. They was sun chips,
Okay.
but no, they wasn't. They was. I can't. Say the Cheeto Puffs. I can't even laugh straight. No, not gonna even work. Not
Well,
even-
speaking of that,
Yes.
you get a cheat. You get the cheat sometimes, right?
Yes, I do get cheat meals.
Okay.
Meals, not days, ladies. Meals.
Okay, so it's like what, once a week you get a cheat cheat meal?
Yes. So you eat your regular meals until your 7 o'clock meal. And my coach likes to tell you what you can cheat with. So he'll tell you can have steak and potatoes, or you can have sushi that's not fried.
But that's not every day.
No, that's not every day. No.
Once a week.
It's like just
Once a week.
So once a week. Oh, okay.
And that's if you've met your mark with your goals of what he set for you that week.
Right.
So, and
Yeah,
if
because
you
I saw The Rock was on Instagram one time, and he was like, "Yeah, this is my cheat day." He had like a giant dish of sushi, like all different types of sushi and everything, and he had something else too, and I was like, "Dang, he's about to grub out."
And that's
it
probably
looked good.
Yeah, it's probably his cheat meal from the week. You know, he met his goals, and that's what I have to make sure I let people know. It's not, you can still have everything that you want, moderations, and to basically secure what you need to achieve first, and then reward yourself. So, and then I always tell my clients, okay, you know how some people I'd rather for you to tell me, hey, I'm craving it. This is what I'm craving. I'd rather for you to take a bite of what you're craving and then throw the rest away, because that way you can get that sensation that you have in your mind out, and you won't continue to cheat. See, and us bodybuilders, we do have that tendency, what we call that overindulging, that we binge eat.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we
I
tend
can see that.
Yes.
I can see that.
And I know
Because
for
you're craving
myself,
all the time, and then you just slip it
out. Yeah, and one day you're like, okay, I get back on,
Right.
and now you're looking at 2 days, and now you just
Yeah, 'cause that's how I used to be with the gym.
Yes.
If I miss a day from the gym, I'm kind of shot for a while, because I can't, with life, I can't get back into that rotation
Exactly.
again. So I'm like, let me start over, and I'm trying to find that day and be like, I'm gonna start over, and then, you know, as long as I'm going, I'm fine.
Right,
When I miss
right.
that one day, it's like, oh, I can't get back there for some reason.
it's hard, and that's what we do. We have that, and then of course we have that body morph. We so used to seeing ourselves as lean, and then when you see the softness and the extra, you're like, oh my God, you know, we tend to down ourselves because of that. You know,
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes, like right now, I'm on a downswing. Well, I haven't been working out in a while, and I'm just looking at this, and I'm like, man, I'm getting small. I don't like that. I don't like that at
And
all.
so, and then you know, you have to try to motivate yourself again.
Right,
And,
yeah,
and then
right.
it's like, but I always tell my clients reset. A setback is a setup for a come up.
Oh, yeah.
So that's not just for them; it's for myself too.
Right.
Because you know we tend to be hard on ourselves, and
Right.
we don't give ourselves the just cause that we should. So
You went through the whole bodybuilding phase in terms of, well, I'll call it phase, but the phases of, you know, going through the amateur and then getting the nationals and all of that stuff.
yes,
In that span of time, that has to be your personal life.
yes.
How does that work when you're starting out in terms of juggling your personal life along with the goal, the ultimate goal of being the best?
Well, ultimately, it is hard, for myself, and I can't speak for all ladies that, bodybuild. It is hard to date sometimes, and to find someone that understands your life and that will support your life and are secure within themselves to be in your life. Because this is a selfish sport. It's an expensive sport, but it's a selfish sport because everything is about you. You. So, like, I have to go to the gym. I have to prep my food. I have to, I. So you have to sometimes put those I's to the side for we, us. What are we going to do,
Right.
So it is a selfish sport, but you have to find somebody that can understand what you're going through and be that support system and know it's not going to be like this always.
Right.
So, but for me, it has been difficult to date because I'm secure within myself. I'm fine with, if you're not within my, okay, not a problem, you're just not for me. And I just have to wait till I find someone that understands this life and want to be part of it. Because it does cause, some, backlash or attention. Even like my daughter and I did a show in Miami and I took her with me. And we're walking through the airport, and the guy stopped. He was like, "Can I take a picture with your mom?" And my daughter's like, because I'm her, she doesn't think it's no big deal. But she asked me, like, "Mom, do you want to take a picture?" Of course, you want to be there for those that admire. But when I'm with my family, I turn it off. This is nothing when it comes to my children. My children are everything to me. So.
Who you dating right now?
Myself.
Okay. That's fair.
Myself. Now, I would love to, date someone, but again, I just have to wait till I find someone that wants to,
Right.
be
Right.
part of it. And like I said, I'm one of those, I'm not mean. I get quiet when I'm hungry.
Sure you're not me?
Oh, I'm not hungry. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because you can't get anything when you're mean.
Sure can.
No. So
Nothing.
he's not going to want to deal with you when you're mean. So he's like, why are you so quiet? Because I'm hungry.
Right.
And then, I say, that's because I'm hungry.
Wow.
Like, I got another hour before I can eat, but other than he's like, it's going to be okay. But you need somebody that's like, we'll get through this, and just take the good and bad and make it ugly.
Could you date a man that wouldn't go to the gym with you?
Wouldn't go? I don't know about wouldn't go. He has to go. I want you part of this. I want you. You don't have to do what I do. I'm not saying no,
Right.
but I do want you to be a part. It's like if it's something he did, I want to be a part of that.
So if he's over there reading the paper, that's good.
No,
He's got to participate.
he's got to participate. You better walk on the treadmill or something, but you got to do
You,
something.
you hear that, man? I'm just letting you know.
Because I can cook too. And not only do I cook my own, I cook meals. I'm Southern. I was raised, you feed that man.
What does your stewed beef and rice look like?
My what?
Stewed beef and rice.
Oh
You know
God!
what I mean?
What?
Oh, you
My
good?
oxtails,
You
my
good?
collard
What?
greens.
Oh.
You better Google me.
Okay. Okay.
You better Google me.
Okay.
You heard
Okay.
it. You better
I'm trying to
Google
tell
her.
you, yes, my brother used to live with me, and within 2 months, I think I gained 20 pounds. Oh yeah, yes.
Oh, hell no, I can't.
See what I'm saying? That's why you have to go.
It's already a struggle, right?
No. Have to go to the damn gym.
Yes, you have to, and
Go
you
to
have
the
no
gym.
choice.
Right.
And I can do it. I can barbecue. I can bake. Oh yeah, my aunt raised me. She was not playing.
Miss Reyes gonna have you sitting up in there about 365. Can't leave the damn house. What's that show? My 600 pound
I
life.
know.
Mess around with her. She
I'm
over
sorry.
there bodybuilding, looking good, and you eating all that good food. And baby, I see you and come back with
Right. Because I would have fixed your plate before I left. You're right. I'm like, you good?
Yeah, pause right there. Yeah, so, move right along. Yeah, so, but, let me ask you this.
Sure.
The business of it all. Okay, you say it's an expensive sport
Yes.
to be in. What are we talking about? What does the money look like, and is it going out? Is it coming in, or is it going out more? And how does all that work?
Like myself, I have sponsorship as far as my suits. It differs for what category, man, female, because of course I think the shows are like beauty. Because you have to get your hair done. You have to have a reputable suit, your heels, your toe, your tanning. Even we still have to tan, to.
Hold up.
Yes.
You just said tanning.
Yes.
Now I get that for some other people.
Yes.
So even you
Yes.
have to tan.
Mm-hmm.
Now what is that about? Is that within the presentation of you? Is it the darker you are, the more you
Muscles pop, yeah.
Okay, all right.
That, and also it makes you even.
You know what?
It makes you even. So when you presenting yourself, not only are you, your colors even all over it, and it's natural looking,
Right.
I
So-
never, until you just said that, I used to watch the shows on TV,
Mm-hmm.
and in theory, some of the women or men that I have watched during those shows, they look darker,
Yes.
and I never really thought about it. So they were probably tanning. I never thought about it.
So what do you tan? Are you tanning on a tanning bed? Are you
Well, I do.
natural light? What
Not
do you-
everybody doesn't go to. I prefer because I want to start my base coat. So when I go to the shows, the day before we do a spray tan. They
Okay.
give you a spray tan the day before just for those that didn't tan, of course, and those of the lighter complexion also, because it does help them, get darker and to
Right,
display their muscles better as well.
right.
So, but I go 3 to 4 weeks before my show. I start my base tan, so that evens me out. And then the darker I am, the better I feel like my muscles look.
I'm gonna say something here, and I don't mean for it to be like racial or anything like that, but it's worth mentioning because you are black,
Yes.
and then there are white people that participate in these competitions as well. It seems like, just based off what you just said, being black gives you more of an edge over the competition.
It gives you a greater starting point, yes.
Huh.
Yes, in my opinion.
Right.
But again, it's not so much as that. You have to also look at those that are not. They have worked as hard as well
Right.
to display. So yeah, you can be darker, but if you don't have that muscle structure or that, shows the one from the back.
But someone of the same, say someone just like you,
Yes,
but it's a Caucasian,
yes.
and y'all have the same body,
Mhm.
same height, same weight, everything. You're gonna edge her out.
Not necessarily. She might have to have more coats.
What do you mean?
More coats of tan.
Of tan.
I'm just saying because, well, okay. So you're saying to get to that night, that darkness where she can show the reflections and the curves, because the light is hitting you,
Yes.
and you can see the different. Just like this curtain, you can
Yes.
see the darks and the highlights. Okay.
So I might need one coat. She might need 3. So, but we're still gonna achieve the, darkness. Of course, I might be darker if I did my base or
Right.
based on my color skin already.
Right.
So, but and then the longer you leave the tan on, the darker it gets. So it progressively get darker
Oh,
too.
it does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, huh, that's interesting. How do you get it off?
Take a bath.
Oh, it just washes off?
But
Oh,
you
okay.
can't take a bath until after your show.
Right.
Yeah, because you will wash it off and that defeats the point.
So your tan is the day before.
Yes.
How do you manage that? Like, if you can't shower, but you, how does that work for through the competition? That's
I
like,
will say it is does have an odor at times backstage for those that have moved around a lot or
Right.
so when you tan you have to make sure that you're ready to basically lay down, put your legs up because you want to keep the water off your legs. So and be still, just relax and try to get some rest. But when you tan, you do have to be mindful of sweating. You can't have deodorant on. You can't put lotion. You can't anything. So basically, you have to just be clean. And you usually, if your show's on Saturday, you usually tan Friday, and you might take a bath that Saturday night or Sunday.
Okay. Get back to the money.
Yo, all right.
Right, I want to hear about the money.
Okay, so as far as what I'm spending,
No, I'm just saying, how does it all work? I mean,
so based at the amateur level, you do not win any money. Pro level, you do based on the show and the tier of the show. You have 3 tiers. So based on how big the show is how big your money. And to the top, I want to say top 5 or top 3, depending on the show, win money. So the show can if there's $6,000, $5,000 for a win in a bid or a ticket to Olympia.
how much are you're spending as far as training and preparation?
Oh,
Because I know you
gosh.
mentioned you have sponsors and everything.
Yes,
What does that output look like?
Oh gosh, the most expensive would be for females would be the food, your supplements, and your suits.
Right.
The most expensive because you can have a suit ranging from $600 to $2,800 just for the competition suit.
are you creating these, or is this something that comes from the sponsor?
It comes from the sponsor or your suit maker. So it doesn't necessarily have to be your sponsor, but it does, they design or you give them ideas of what you might want and they create it. Or they might have one that's already made.
Are they soliciting for people to wear their stuff?
No,
or
you have to apply.
Yes,
You have to apply. They send out a questionnaire,
Really?
a sponsorship, yes, and you have to write in to say this is what, this is why I'm doing it, and you have to answer them.
So what are they looking for? Are they looking for like the good story behind the sponsor?
They
or are
could,
looking...
yeah, or they could.
Okay,
like,
so it's different. It's different reasons why they would sponsor someone. Okay, so it's not merely for like brand recognition or anything like that.
No, of
as
course,
far
and,
as their-
and then if you have a following, that does help as well, because you have to also post about that show. You have to, not solicit it, but you have to go out and rep that a brand that you're
Right.
also sponsored by.
Right.
So, of course, now you have to make posts about it. You have to pose in your suit. You have to make sure that you give them a shout of who's done it. Because the lady that makes my suit, she has made every last one of my suits since I've been competing, and I've been competing for 5 years.
Okay, so is there a contract signed or is it just
Yes, it is.
okay.
It's
So
a
she's officially your designer.
Sponsor, yes.
Oh,
Which is
okay.
great. Now, with that being said, so she's officially your designer. Does the sponsor take care of that particular fee to get those made for you? or-
Yes, she takes care of it. You get 2 suits, and you do one more for 2 to 3 shows. And you get a suit, so you do 3 shows. The first suit is for the first 2, and then you get 1 more for the last show for the year.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes a good point. How many shows on average are you doing a year?
3.
3.
Mhm.
Okay. Is that the average that most people would do? or-
Most, some do 5. So it all depends on how close they are to, winning. I'm a new pro, so of course I gotta earn my way up. So I'm in the middle of the pack because it's no less than 30 girls at one show. So Chicago, I think, had 48, 50 girls in one show. That's 50 girls that they have to look in to judge.
Do you get invited to these shows, or do you just apply?
You apply.
Okay.
And we have contract, being a pro, you have to sign a contract that you are contractually doing this show. So amateur, you can just fill out an application.
Mhm.
But when a pro level, you do have to sign the contract to do the show. And of course, if you don't do the show, it's a fee that falls into that as well.
Oh,
if you
a
do
penalty,
do the
penalty if you don't show up.
But if you do the show, there's no fee.
No. Well, we have our pro cards. You have to actually
Okay.
sign up for the card for the year, and that's for everyone, amateur level as well as the pro level.
Mm.
So, and that's another fee encompasses with it.
That's an annual dues.
Yes,
fee.
yes.
Okay.
What
So
do those fees range from?
Amateur, I think, is at 150 now, and
Mhm.
pro level is at 250.
Mhm.
And with the pro level, you get a visitor day and evening. You can bring someone on that pass, so you get a pass for them as well.
Okay, so if someone like us wanted to walk off the street and attend the show,
You can go and you can go.
we pay a fee at the door or
Yes,
something like that?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that was something we had talked about earlier. I've always liked to watch it on TV, but I've never been. But I would definitely be interested in
It's
just
a different
seeing,
experience. For
just
sure.
seeing the whole thing unfold. Like it's a show. It's like watching everybody and watching the muscles and
Right.
watching everybody just
The routines.
just so intense of just the intensity of everybody just after you've done the show or any show,
Yes.
you get off stage, I guess the judging is happening, you win, you lose, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing you want to do when it's all said and done? The show is done, the show is behind you, what's the first thing you know?
Is that cheat? Is that cheat day?
Oh yes.
Okay, because you.
Oh, you can't wait to get to that meal. and trust me, you've already probably talked about where you're going after the show.
Mhm.
Because man, that meal after the show, and the craziest part about it, after you had that meal, you look better than you did on stage.
Really?
Because you have carbs now, you don't feel that.
So everything is like positive.
Yes,
Right,
yes.
right.
That's when a lot of people do a photo shoot afterwards, because you actually,
But why not do the meal right before the show then?
because you have that retains water. We have to deplete the water before our show.
Y'all have to weigh in?
No,
Okay.
No, it's just hype.
yeah, no, it's no height at pro level.
Oh, okay.
But amateur, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But no, when you're getting ready for a show, you want to be as lean and as tight and as dry as
Mhm.
possible. So the week before a show is called peak week.
Mm.
Dry as possible.
Yes.
Right.
And that's called peak week, and that is basically you're taking your body to the highest peak, the highest level that you can take of, I guess, how much you can deplete yourself for that week.
What is your percentage of body fat?
Now or
That ain't good.
ooh, it's different now. Sorry, Dave. It's different,
Okay.
now. Oh no, I gotta be at least 15 to 18 now.
So like competition time,
I'm probably sitting at about 8,
8.
10.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
lean.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's
How long does it take you to get to that point?
I start my prep 16, 20 weeks out.
It takes that long to get
For
there?
me,
For you.
for me.
Right.
Yes.
You know,
Different is
yeah.
different. Men, y'all can do something in 8 weeks. Some can do, but again, it all depends on where you are when you start, when you decide on doing.
So
the show.
eating is crucial.
Yes. It is.
You always hear that.
Mhm.
That it's all about the food.
Yes.
I'll never be
Abs are made in the kitchen.
I'll never
Yeah.
be a pro level.
So you'll never make it.
It's only 1% of the population that would ever make it to this level. 1%.
Really?
It's a small percentage.
I'm not there.
Yeah, and you'll see people doing, thousands of. I'm telling you, if once you change up your diet, boom, That's when you'll see a difference.
I would like to just do it just one time, not go to pro level, but like really get my diet to the point to where I can just look really good. You know,
think about it.
Have that body. I just like to do it one time.
And what's that for you?
Probably nothing. Keep being lazy. Want to eat everything.
Eat everything, right.
Whatever I want
and
to eat.
And I tell you, it's
You
more,
have this one.
when you can't have it, that's when you want it.
Yeah.
I tell you, never want it. Like, now you probably, I can get sneakers anytime, but when you getting ready for a show, it's like, oh my God.
Well, you know, they just opened a Slutty Vegan down the street.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, right down here.
That's what because I tell you, I rode by the other one the other day. I said, who's standing in that line?
And I ain't trying to stand in the
No,
line.
that
But
line
since
is
it's
so
so
long.
close, I could probably just pop over
But
there.
I'm sure that line is
Standing in
long
that
too,
line.
though.
No, I'm talking about like right when they open or something.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
have to be, I'm sure.
You know, since it's like right down the street, you know.
I'm still waiting to try it, but
I want to try it.
I'm not, no, my
I
nerves.
can't
But I'm not
mess
gonna
up.
wait. I don't ever want to wait.
4 hours for a burger?
Yeah, that's a little bit much. I've seen pictures of those burgers. They do look quite
They
delicious.
do, but not.
And Miss Pinky, we, open invitation to
I
come
would,
sit down
yes,
with us.
I would
I'm
love
just
to try it, but I can't. I don't have that type of dedication to stand in line for it.
Probably pay somebody like,
Yeah.
look, I need you to stand in line.
You're right.
I'll give you $20.
I'm telling you.
Like a dog walker, you can have your
A burger, right.
Yeah, stand in line for you. That's what they do.
Stand in line.
I wonder if you
Yeah.
could do that for a living.
What?
It is people
Be a
that.
professional line stander.
Yeah.
I
I think
think
on
it is
an
something like
episode of Seinfeld, wasn't
It was
Kramer
Big
doing
Bang.
it?
It was Big Bang Theory. I saw it.
Is that what?
That's what I
knew
saw it.
yeah,
Yes.
someone was doing it.
Yes, they
Yeah.
were standing in line. They had a professional person to. Yeah, they paid them to do stuff like that for them.
There was an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. You ever
Uh-huh.
seen that
No, I
with
haven't.
Larry David?
Yeah.
Oh, that dude is crazy. It's
I
hilarious.
have to try to check that
Anyway,
out.
they came up with a business to where like people that they work in like those little booths or the newsstands or whatnot, and they're the only person there. It's like when do you go use the restroom? So what they would do is they'd have somebody come in and stand at your booth or whatever like that while you run to the
you
restroom, and they would charge them
serious?
like $5 a minute or something like that.
Oh my
And then-
gosh.
it's crazy. You gotta check that
Larry
show out. It's
David is
Curb Your
good.
Enthusiasm.
Okay.
With Larry David. He's the creator of Seinfeld.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he has that show. It's awesome. So, go ahead.
There you go ahead. You have some?
No, no.
Okay. What I was going to ask you is, once you've gone through and you've done your shows, and people see you after the show,
Yes.
what is that?
Excuse me.
Let me go back to your first show. I guess that's what I wanted to start.
Okay.
What was that like for you after the first show? You've done it, you've completed, and now people see you like, some of the people that may have thought that you probably weren't going to go through with it, not make it to the end, not actually do it. What was that like, getting through the show and know, the mission is complete?
It's mixed feelings because you have those that don't understand, those that like, oh, I could never, and why are you doing? You have the mixed. You have to find that you're again. It's so important to have that circle of people that support you because it's a mental thing.
Yep.
Because not only are you now okay, you're saying now what am I going to do? You're still off that high, especially if you won. I won my first show.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
we
I
didn't
don't didn't I tell you?
You didn't tell us that.
Oh,
You
yes.
got to put that out there.
Oh
early.
yes, dear.
Well,
I
all
won
right
my
then.
first show. Yes, thank you.
So now you're riding up here.
Yes, you
on
on it. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let me ask you this. You made a good point about the who do you hang around? I mean, you're in the gym, you're doing all of this.
Yes.
So you're not regular.
No, you don't think so?
No, you're not regular.
Okay.
You know, I've seen regular people. You're not a regular person.
I'm not.
I like it.
I don't-
I
Look, you already said you're part of the 1%.
I am.
So that is not regular.
No, it's not.
It is not.
It's not.
So on a general basis, what type of people are you hanging around? Is it people that you work out with? Do you have other friends?
I have mostly is my bodybuilding friend. I do have friends like that I grew up with from high school that we're still, but we don't, hang out like we used to.
Right.
If I go home to Griffin, I try to see them if they're in Griffin, but no, most of my
The
circle-
dynamic is not. The conversation, you can't even talk.
I can talk, but it's not about, they ask me more questions about this, and so I have to explain a lot, but it's a lot of stuff that where I am now is different from where they are.
Right.
So what I'm trying to accomplish and where I'm trying to go
Right.
is totally different.
Right.
So you have to surround yourself with like-minded people.
You have to.
Yes.
You have to.
Yes.
You gotta look at people that are up here, where you wanna
be,
where
yes,
you wanna go,
yes.
right?
So you have to surround yourself with people that are within your realm or where
That's
you,
right.
yeah,
Your peers,
but, yes.
you need peers and above.
Does it bother you when people only tend to want to talk about bodybuilding? Like, you have the opportunity to talk about other stuff. I know you have other interests.
Yes.
But does it bother you when the first thing, if you're sitting down, you're talking to somebody, all they want to know about is, well, how much do you live? And how often do you live?
Oh,
What do
gosh.
you do with this? Does that bother you?
It bothers me when you haven't even asked me my name.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that bothers me. Like, I don't mind answering any question. I really don't. Because, of course, this might be something that you have thought about and you didn't know anybody. Now that you see me, why would I be like, oh, no, I don't want to know? Why would I do that? Because, again, I had to have somebody to guide me. So why not give that person that push or whatever they might be interested in, or someone that, oh, I've been doing this and I'm still trying to. I said, okay, now what are you doing to further that? So I don't mind, but at least ask me my name. At least ask, find out what I'm about first before you say, okay, give me pointers. And that's one thing I cannot give you pointers. Say I would give you something different than what I would give you. If you give me a cookie cutter, that means that you have not taken the time to get to know me, to get to know my likes, my ailments, to get to know what motivates me and what doesn't. Something that might work for you might not work for you. So you can't just put everybody in the same category and give them a cookie cutter recipe. That's not how it works. Because, again, like I said, you might like oatmeal and I don't. Now you put oatmeal, I'm like, I'm not eating that.
What's the worst pickup line you ever heard?
Oh, my gosh.
At this stage in the game, not past, but like now.
I can beat you in arm wrestling.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Is it good? I don't know.
It's not.
It's not because I'm like, my face.
I mean, it's kind of corny a little bit.
It's
but
horrible.
It is kind of horrible.
Whoever said that, you're horrible.
And they do. They say, and I'm like, okay, you the man. You
Right.
won. Like, I'm not gonna. What you want me to do? Like, let's see.
Right.
I don't know what you want me to do with that.
Is it like a laugh in their face, or is it? Do you just like walk
No,
away?
because I'm like, oh, you're so sweet. Bless your
With
heart.
that face?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You making the same face.
I'll be like,
Because I'm like, what do you want me to do that? Instead of just saying, hey, my name is such and such. Because I'm approachable. At least I think. When I'm in the gym, sometimes they say I don't look like. When I'm focused,
You work it. That's
give me a
right.
minute,
You're on the job.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Or they'll try to catch me in between sets or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I gave you 5 minutes. Now
Right.
what we gonna do?
Man, you hear that? That's cocky right there. I gave you 5 minutes.
I did because my time is just
Right.
like I was telling you
It
earlier.
worked.
I mean, this is.
Oh, I thought you was like after they mess with you during your
Yes,
workout. Okay,
yes.
I'm thinking like after.
Between
Oh
sets.
no, I'm in
Okay.
between sets, and they're
Okay.
like, "Hey, what are you doing that for?" They ask me about an exercise, and I'm like, "Okay, now what?" Or when I see them sitting on a bench or something, I've been waiting. I'm like, "Can I work in? What we gonna do?" And they hate that because now I'm challenging. Because again, I didn't come here for you to be on the phone.
Right,
I need you to do some work.
right,
So
exactly.
With that being said, we talked a little bit about, personal wise, we talked about you and dating.
yes,
How has this been for your kids? Because this is
Oh.
they're on the ride with you.
yes.
As kids, your parents, what they do, you're on that ride.
Mhm.
How has that ride been for them? Because, kids can be cruel sometimes. I know
Oh,
your
yes.
kids are
My
a little bit
son-
older,
Yeah,
but
my son actually felt it more than my daughter. My daughter was already in high school, when I really just became into myself. But because I go to my son's school off, he was in middle school at the time. He started high school this year. But when I went to school, of course, his kids like, oh my God, it's your mom, and they'll make comments, oh, your mom come and beat people up. And I always ask him, I say, is this affecting you? Because I can stop. I would stop this I don't want my lifestyle to hinder or cause any issues for my son.
Right.
And that he was like, no, Mom, this is who you are. And I understand that. But you being comfortable enough to be who you are should not be a hindrance, something I do.
Right.
So and he was like, no. And when we're out, and they love it, I know they do, because that people come up when we're out, and I'm like, not right now. with my family, and then my kids will start smiling or something like that, because they know people why people are coming up, or they'll make comments, and they're like, oh, those your kids? Yeah, those are my children. And they'll start asking me questions. Like, I appreciate the love, but again, it's family time.
Outside of the bodybuilding and competing in the competitions,
Yes.
have you been like invited or asked to do any like movie roles or anything like that?
No.
You haven't? Would that be something that you would be interested in if it came?
Sure, Tyler, come on, call me. Tyler Perry, call me. I'm there.
Why you talking to Tanja? You got a good director right here.
Oh, I don't know. Look, I didn't know. Excuse me. Both mine gonna get fed.
Oh,
I didn't know.
I'm just trying to gauge your interest in.
I never thought. My daughter always said I'm a good motivator. So I never thought about it. Maybe, if it opportunity came along, let's do it. Yeah, you never know. I'm not close to anything. The only thing like bungee jumping or something like that.
Right.
Again, something we share. I'm not going bungee.
And see, or sleeping outside. It's a. Whew.
Well, y'all share that too.
Sleeping outside.
Wait, he said he's not sleeping outside.
See, no.
He said he's not doing
I've
it.
done that. Right, I've been there, done that. I'm not doing that. No, it's
No camping or anything like that. Forget it.
No, I'll meet you back at the hotel.
See
See you at the bar.
Exactly.
So, no. Or the pool, whatever you want to go.
Exactly. Do you swim any as far as exercise?
Of course, I swim like a rock.
Oh.
Gotcha. Because you was about to be like, oh man, you swim. Gotcha.
No,
We all hear this. It's always
I do the jump, the different exercises in the pool, before COVID and everything like that. But yeah.
Okay.
I like it because it's like it gets that tension off your knees. Because I tell you, these knees, you got about 5 good pumps left on these knees. And that's it.
How is, you've been doing this over 5 years. How is your injury report on?
My injuries, honestly, my injuries have not come from the gym. They come from being in accidents. I was just rear-ended in February. Yes, right before COVID, I was just,
In the car outside?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It took them over 40 days to even fix my car. The guy, I guess it was when it had started raining, it was raining constantly, and he was in a pickup truck and he couldn't stop. The car behind me saw him coming and tried to get out. He still hit him, knocked him into the HOV lane and in front of me, and he finished.
Oh, so he got out of the way.
He tried to, no, he still hit him.
Oh, he
nudged him, yes.
Nudged him and then slid into you.
Yes.
Wow.
And my wrist is still, and I have a pinched nerve in my back, and they call it a cervical strain. So it has really limited anything that I can do right now.
Right.
So.
Right. So that's going to probably take a little while to get that right.
Are injuries a big part of the sport?
Oh,
God,
God,
yeah. I know they don't talk like it would be a football player, and they tell you all these different things, but you see it on a regular basis. How does that work? What is the average time normally, with most athletes?
It all depends on what the injury is, but again, say you do have like a pull chest muscle or something with your foot, Achilles or whatever, that you still have to do other things to keep active and to keep working out. You just have to work around your injury. So just like I never do deadlifts, not right now. If I did them, it'll be on a Smith machine, a guided machine that I can work in.
No free.
No, and plus, who am I trying to impress?
Right.
No.
Right.
Yourself. You trying to
And I'm fine with it. As long as I'm happy. But no, I'm not trying to impress anybody. I do what my capabilities are. So.
How important is that when you're talking to, you're a trainer. How important is that when you're talking to your clients? Because a lot of people come in with a preconceived notion, this is what I want to be. They want the end body the first day in the gym. So how important is that for you to talk to them about, you have to start somewhere.
Right.
Do what you can do.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm not a trainer for everybody, because I know what I can do. I know how to push. And some people don't like to be pushed. They like to say, oh, I can't do this, make an excuse. So I don't have the capacity to be that, that comfort that you need. I'm the one that, okay, you want to complain, I'm going to give you 2 more. I'm going to make you, it's a difference. Doing those extra, that's the difference between first and second place. It all depends on how bad you want it. I'm going to get you there. you know.
And Ricky Bobby.
I'm trying to do
Yeah.
In other words, I would like your ass. Huh?
No, you wouldn't, but you'll thank me. I'm probably my client now in Chicago, Shantae. Oh my goodness, I actually drove all the way to Chicago when she got ready to do her first show. I think she had 2 kids since we started together. We was on the same team together, and she had 2 kids since, and she was like, I want to get back in, and we started in November of last year, and her first show was in May. And I drove all the way to Chicago to be there because that's what I'm supposed to do. You know, you're gonna do this. I need to be there to support you.
Right.
And she won first and second in her first show.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, I said Google me. I'm telling you. So and she did it. I was so happy. But again, we had the distance. But I'm one of those. I'm gonna stay on you. I'm not going to let you fail because if you fail, I fail.
So you can train someone over distance like
Oh
that?
yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
They just need to be committed to do it. I tell you what you need to do, what you need
There
to
you
work
go.
on.
Now, if you don't do it, that's on you. But I'm still getting my money on the
Right.
first.
Right.
She said on the first.
So do you have like a website or something or something?
I am actually creating. I just had my logo made. Like my Instagram name is Ironweed, so I stuck with that. Ironweed. Yes.
W-E-E-D? Ironweed.
I've had that.
Now let me
since-
ask you something. Where did that come from?
I was about to say.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I've had that since high school. I used to be part of the ROTC drill team. I was the commander and everything. Never ran, like I said, never ran track, and I was in ROTC. But before I even became at the, I've always had, again, everything I had to fight for. Every muscle, everything. So even at that level, when they tried to break me, give me extra, to do more, to not, because you see it in a person, their potential, what they could be, and the commander of the senior year gives you your name, and they told me, they said, no matter how much we gave you, you know how you pull a weed and it still come back and it come back stronger than when you first pulled it. That's where I got that name.
Oh, Ironweed.
Ironweed,
I like that.
Go ahead now.
I like that.
But I've always, everything I have, I've had to fight for. I've had to earn.
So this is my last question that I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
But I have a cousin, and she's been struggling with her weight. At one point, she told me, she said, Ron, I'm embarrassed to tell you my weight, but I want to tell you. So she weighed 315. Now she's about 5'6", 5'7", something like
Okay.
that. So it kind of gives you an idea
Right.
of what she may look like. And she was going to get the gastric bypass, but she got scared. So she didn't get it done. So over the last couple of years, she's been really working out hard. She's been going to the gym like every day.
Yeah.
She's been trying to eat right, and she's doing all this stuff on her own. So someone that's struggling like that, and she is motivated to do better and try to really lose the weight and get in shape and be healthy, what would you say to them to keep them motivated, to keep them in a good space?
I would say first of all, keep pushing, keep grinding. It's nothing was made overnight.
Right.
Secondly, I say reach out to someone and ask for guidance. Ask for that help to get you over your stagnant, because she could be stagnant right now.
Right.
And it could be the small that is changing up her meals. Maybe she's not eating.
She says she
enough.
struggles with the eating. She
Yes,
struggles
and
very
that's
much
what
so.
she needs somebody, and if she needs to reach out to me, I'm here to help her with that, because that's the thing, people don't ask for help. You need it and just won't ask. Get out your way. Get out yourself, get out there and ask people, especially if
Right.
I don't know, I can get you to someone that might be able to help you. Get a food scale. That is a must. When I say food scale, you have to weigh your food.
See, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. See, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Weighing your food.
Yes.
And why is that important to weigh your food?
Because your food, you could be eating too little or you could be eating too much. You can't just eyeball it. It's based on your height, your weight, your body mass.
So eating a portion
Yes.
is not really doing it the proper way.
No.
Okay. So weighing.
Yes.
Weighing is good.
Weigh it, and you should weigh everything you put in your mouth. The only thing I say you might not weigh is your vegetables.
Okay.
Because, vegetables are pretty, like your asparagus or your zucchini. So your broccoli, your spinach, and all that.
So you don't have to be concerned about for vegetables, like a lot of water is in vegetables.
You could.
Concerned about.
The only thing would be like, I want to say broccoli, it makes you retain water, and
Okay.
lettuce. I know for me, lettuce makes me return.
Right. You like cauliflower?
It's okay. It's
Okay.
not the best.
I hear some people talk about the cauliflower.
You something else though. I didn't mean to stop you in that train of thought. But is a salad the ultimate in dieting? Because most people think that when
That's a
they're
good
dieting,
question. That's a good question.
or when it's time, I'm trying to lose weight, so the first thing they do is, well, I'm gonna eat a salad. Is, you know,
That salad might be more calories than that doggone burger you could have had.
Is that right?
Yes, because you got to think what all you putting up besides the dressing. Now you adding bacon. Now you adding all that extra stuff to your side. Now you might have 3 different meats in your side. You might as well just eat a burger.
Right.
You know.
I've always thought about that question. 'Cause that's the first thing
Right.
people say when I'm just
I'm
having
gonna
salad.
salad. Yeah.
You might as well eat the burger, just like when those Popeye sandwiches came out. Do you know how much sodium is in all those sandwiches? 1,500.
Well,
Dang.
I have a whole nother take on the Popeye chicken sandwich from last night.
You got one last night?
No, I said I have another take on that whole Popeye's chicken thing from last night. The discussion we had.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
But anyway, that's a whole other stuff.
But that's a lot of sodium. So that is, now you retain all that water. Now there goes your blood pressure. Now you on beta blockers. And, for no reason, all you had to do was just eat something like chicken breast, turkey. Just switch it. You can even have ground beef, bison. So even the stuff like that, you can still get what you're craving. You might not be able to have the bread,
Right.
but you can still get the little things that you're craving. Because I know I love a good burger, and I'm sorry I can't give up the swine yet. I'm
Yeah.
not there yet.
I eat a lot of ground turkey.
Mhm.
I've learned I can't do McDonald's, period.
I
Oh
can't-
gosh,
I
no,
can't
you
get
might as
that.
well just eat that in the
Yeah,
bathroom.
Right.
I can't, I've learned, and I wasn't a big McDonald's fan,
Mhm.
so don't take this wrong, McDonald's. I'm sorry.
Right, I'm sorry.
But I was never a big fan. I love their fries though.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Burger wise, I wasn't a great fan, but I give them every now and then. But now if I eat one of their burgers, and it's probably not just them, just in general, but when I eat burgers now, I feel so heavy.
Mhm.
I'm ready to go to sleep.
Right.
Period. I'm done. Talk to me tomorrow. So I've learned I've got to. That's one thing that I'm slowly moving from my diet altogether. Any type of burger, unless I do a turkey burger or something that I cook, but.
And I tell, how people like, oh, I just gotta have a McDonald's, or I gotta have Wendy's. Okay, if that's what you just have to have, get a kid's meal. Get a kid's meal. Why do you have to get that big,
Right.
The main thing is to get that sensation that you
Right.
feel like you need it out your head.
Go for the conservative option. Yeah.
Get a kid's meal if that's what you just feel like you have to have.
Man.
That's crazy. I'm glad I got my salad question asked. I've always wanted to ask somebody that. And I just
Because
never
then you
thought
gotta
about
think
it.
the dressing they put on, how much dressing they put on the salad, and no, it just,
Yeah, because it doesn't do me any good. Because I put, depends on the dressing or the type of salad. You're right. I'll probably have some ham in there, some olives, and all types of stuff.
oh yeah.
So for me now, that's a meal. I'm not on on a dietary diet or anything like that. But when I say salad, I mean salad. I mean like that's what I'm gonna eat.
And even if I gave you like salmon, 2 cups of lettuce, I would even make you make your dressing. So your dressing would be like 2 tablespoons of avocado oil and some apple cider vinegar. That's your dressing, and it's good.
That's almost like vinaigrette, almost. Yeah.
And it's good,
I
but
see
it's
that
a
word.
more healthier option.
Right.
Now, do you have now? Because I know you have a lot of these things that you do. It's natural to you now. Do you have a laid out menu for your clients, or is this something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, every client has a different meal plan because every client is different. Like I said, I can't give a cookie cutter. Now they might have some of the same items like chicken breast or tilapia, cod, or whatever. But again, their portions might be different, or when they have it during the day might be different. So it might be their second meal for one person, and it might be your 4th meal for another person.
I see.
So,
When I go to the grocery store sometimes, I pick up the nuts, and it's usually mixed nuts, almonds. There may be some raisins in there, cashews. I forgot what the little seed-looking nuts are. They have some peanuts in there. It's like a hodgepodge. On the cover, it says heart, health, on there. Is there any negative with eating nuts like that?
No, because almonds is one of the things that you'll find that could be on your meal plan too. Yeah, me too. I love almonds. The fattier ones are the peanuts and the cashews, of course.
So those might not necessarily need to be in there.
Yeah.
Now here,
But again, but you're not trying to do what I do, so it might be perfectly fine. But I'd rather for you to have that than for you to go get a Snickers.
yeah.
Or,
Well, that's the question. I hear about healthy fats.
Mhm.
Say in your line, are there any healthy fats?
Yeah,
Okay.
peanut butter,
Okay.
avocados, those are healthy fats. The
Okay.
almonds, those are healthy fats.
Okay. Okay.
Some of the egg whites, I mean the yolk out of the egg, that's, you can't have all of them.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's a healthy fat.
See, I like the whole egg.
I know you too, I
You
know.
don't like egg?
He like the whole egg.
I really like the egg white though.
Yeah,
As a kid growing up, you didn't really want to eat the yellow part.
No.
You wanted the white part.
I eat the whole thing.
But I like the whole egg.
Scrambled egg, yeah. 'Cause look, this whole damn story
I
doesn't make me hungry.
love onions in my eggs, man.
I don't like onions. I like them on my steak,
Oh, okay.
but they have to be, I do not like, I don't know, it just, ugh, something about
You have
it.
them they have to be like sauteed
Sauteed
down.
for me to eat them,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I love onion, love garlic, love onion.
Mhm.
Man. Yeah.
Well, I got to say this, and then I'll let it go. But having you here, first of all, it's been great. It's been a great
Thank you
conversation.
for having me.
But what I wanted to say to you is, well, I'm going to say this to the audience as well. You break, I guess, the mold or the stereotype that people may think. Because you're a bodybuilder, for some reason, people may tend to think that you're not feminine or that you're not ladylike.
Yes.
You here in this space, I can truly say are very ladylike, very personable, a fun person to be around, all that stuff mixed up. And I say that because sometimes people, sometimes it's cultural, but sometimes it's just people, we tend to see something and think we know exactly what it is.
Yes.
And I can imagine what the ladies of bodybuilders get. For the men, it's probably totally different because, you know, they're big and the women like the big and so on and so on. So you guys have to go through it on both sides because the men look at you and say, you know, she's a little manly.
Yes.
Or the women look at you and they'll say, yes, she's a little manly. So you would think you would get the support from your sisters and your female gender, but instead,
It's
they
the
look at you,
opposite.
right, they
Yeah.
knock you as well. But I'm here to say, yes, women can be bodybuilders and still have a feminine, very feminine side.
Thank
So
you.
I just wanted to say that to you and just, you know, display that to, you know, our audience and whomever's watching to know that. Please don't judge a book by its cover, so to speak.
Thank you. And I tell you, I get it when we walk in the store and you can tell that they're looking because they wait till I pass by. And I purposely turn around to see, and they'll try to turn their heads like they were just talking about me. And I'm like, oh, thank you. You know, because I know you're talking, and that's fine.
Right.
You know, but if you're gonna talk about somebody, feel free to talk about me.
Right.
Because hey, that means you're thinking about me.
That's right.
That means you gave me power over you.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. It's true.
I'm just
It's
saying,
so true.
that's fine. If you need somebody, I needed 2 more people today to talk about me, so I'm good. I met my quota.
Great, man.
I'm good.
Well, thank
Well, it's been a pleasure
I really
having you here,
appreciate
and
it.
we're so glad that you came to sit
No,
down
I
with
want to
us
say
today.
thank you for bringing light to this platform because it's a lot of stereotypes. It's a lot of negativity that sometimes comes with it, especially for the ladies. And honestly, the ladies work a little bit harder than the men
I
sometimes.
can believe it.
And we don't get the just cause that we should. And this right here is bringing light to that, you know, saying, okay, it's something different. It's something that I don't want to be like everybody else.
Absolutely.
So, and I love it. I love the fact that I can stand out and still be who I am.
There you go. There
Absolutely.
you go. Well, I believe that's a wrap.
Yeah.
We're good. So let's wrap it up. Once again, thank you for joining us for the Gentleman of Style show. And like we always like to say, there is no excuse for good taste.
Because at the General Style Show, we believe in better.
Absolutely.
Till next time.